Carly, I just had a look at my phone. Did my mom really have to be taken to the hospital?
George, you finally started replying to me? Why did it take you so long to look at your phone? I tried calling and texting you so many times already, right?
I was in the middle of a very long meeting, all right? Because of all your calls, I ended up having to step out for a second to mute my phone. And that caused me to miss some very important information for next week. So, how's my mom doing right now?
I'm sorry about that. As for your mom, for the time being, what's happened with her isn't life-threatening.
I see. Then I can calm down a little.
But from here on out, I don't think things are going to be getting any easier. I was told by the doctors that her body won't be able to move like it used to before. And over time, things might start to become more and more difficult for her, like picking up heavy things and getting up out of bed.
So what you're telling me is that she won't be able to return to her normal lifestyle?
Yes. With the way things are for her now, I don't think there's any going back to the way she was before. If she doesn't have any help, she won't be able to go to the bathroom or take a bath. I don't think she's ever going to be able to live on her own again, George.
Is that so?
What should we do about her? Neither of us ever thought something this serious would be happening to her as well. In the coming months, we're going to have to make some very difficult decisions regarding her.
Well, there's nothing we can really do about that, huh? You'll just have to start taking care of her for me and be around the house even more often.
Wait, you want me to? Remember that we also have your dad who isn't able to get out of his bed at all. I can't start taking care of both your mom and dad for you.
Mom's not going to be glued to her bed, right? That means while you're taking care of my dad, you can watch over my mom and help her with the 1 or 2 things she needs per day. This was the whole reason we started living with my parents, right? To take care of them as they got older? We have to do the same thing for my mom now that we've been doing for my dad. It's not like things are going to change much now that you have 2 people to take care of, right?
Please don't say such ridiculous things. With the way things have been at home so far, I haven't really been able to get any sleep for myself. If I have to care for 2 people at once, I'm going to pass out.
Then what do you think we should do? Because to me, that looks like our only option right now.
Do you think we can put one of your parents into an elderly home? Or maybe even both of them together? That way they wouldn't have to be lonely going into a place like that.
Huh? Don't start talking about nonsense like that. You think I'm putting either of my parents into one of those homes?
Why can't you? It's not that crazy of an idea, I think.
Putting your parents into an old folks' home is the same thing as throwing them away. Could you really do something so embarrassing to us?
How would putting one or both of them into a place that can take better care of them be embarrassing? We have to do it at some point, George. I may be able to help them both with things like getting around the house, eating, going to the bathroom, and so on, but I have no clue what to do when one of them has a major medical emergency. Even this time, when your mom collapsed, I didn't know what she needed as quick as I should have, and that's why someone like a nurse would have been a lot better watching over them.
But by putting my parents into a home like that, you would be embarrassing me. People would start to think I'm the type of cold-hearted son that abandons his own parents. Everyone in my family would hate me for it. So I will not allow either of my parents to end up in a home.
Who cares what other people say? Most people will never understand how tough situations like the one we're in now can be. Also, there are plenty of people in this exact same situation who have chosen to move their parents to some place where they'll be better off.
I said no to it, so that means no. Do you really feel like embarrassing me that badly?
I'm not trying to embarrass you in any way, but it's been me taking care of your dad this whole time. Are you trying to force me to work to death also that you can protect that insignificant honor of yours?
What was that? Are you saying that something like sacrificing your free time for my parents is not worth it? You really are a cold-hearted woman, aren't you? No wonder you're able to talk about putting my parents into an old folks' home so lightheartedly.
George, don't start trying to pick a fight now. I don't want us to start picking one another apart because of this stress. I'm just trying to tell you that having to push myself beyond my own limits to take care of both your parents is not a good way of doing things. I can't be the only one thinking this right now. Actually, I feel really bad that your parents aren't being given the option to go to an experienced old folks' home.
You're only feeling bad because you're not putting in the effort to care for them more. Anyhow, we will not be putting my parents into any kind of home. Now you go home and get things ready for my mom to come home and be taken care of by you. This conversation is over now, so be quiet and do as I've said.
Your mom only has a little bit of time left. The doctor is saying that you and I need to prepare for the worst. Right now, the doctor's doing what they can to care for her and make her comfortable, but they're not certain she'll be around too much longer.
I see. It hasn't even been 2 years since my dad passed away, right? I never expected my mom to be passing away so soon, too.
We were all very shocked when your dad took his last breath that day. I think he was just exhausted of having to stick around, and that's what led to his passing. And ever since then, your mom's conditions have only worsened.
I was really thinking those two would be around at least a few more years with us.
I was as well. Well, now that you're aware of the current situation, would you please start coming home? I don't want you out there feeling like you're all alone, and considering this will be your last chance to see your mom, you should be around us. I'll make sure to give you as much time and attention as you need.
I'm sorry, but that's just not going to happen. I have a lot of work to manage still.
Can't you ask one of your bosses to give you just a bit more time on all that stuff? This is your mom we're talking about here. Would you really be willing to let your mom live her last moments without you at her side?
I really do want to be there to look after her and all, but right now this work that I have to do is more important than anything. So there is no easy way for me to get a few days off.
But this is your mom, George. There shouldn't be anything more important than your own family, than your own mother, right?
I have to keep working in order to afford for my mom to have a really nice funeral. If I don't have the money to pay, then I won't be able to honor her in a way she deserves. I would like for her to have a really beautiful casket and have the decorations be all kinds of exotic flowers.
I understand how you're feeling right now.
Also, if she really is on her last leg, then I have a lot to prepare for elsewhere. And the funeral is the most important thing to think about. I really have to make sure she has a great one.
Do you want me to help?
I want you to help with all of it, actually. That's your job, to handle all of that, actually. I'm the one that has to work outside the house and make sure we have money.
Understood. But at the very least, could you make sure not to stay too late every night and come home to be with me? I don't want to be in this house all alone right now.
My mom is there with you, right?
No, she isn't. She's at the hospital right now because she has to be hooked up to all sorts of machines, so I really am at home all by myself right now.
Why do you hate being home all alone anyway?
I just don't have a good feeling about things right now, and this house is making me depressed.
Huh? How is the house making you depressed? You've been living in that house normally all this time, and just now it's starting to make you feel depressed?
Before this, your mom said something very strange to me. It was like she was chanting a curse or a spell or something. I'm not sure what all she was saying then, but ever since I heard that, I've been feeling off. And if I have to be honest, I don't like it in this house anymore. And being by myself here is the worst feeling ever.
You're acting like a 5-year-old now, you brat. She was just talking in her sleep or something, right? You told me before that my mom had recently become pretty weak mentally and was talking nonsense quite often. So stop imagining things and pull yourself together.
But I'm not lying when I say things have been pretty depressing here, right? I'm aware of it very much, and being here alone is not helping me feel any better.
Maybe you've just been in the house so much lately that you're getting bored. If you don't get up and move a bit more, you're gonna feel lethargic and sad. How about you go outside for a bit and pull some weeds for once? Ever since my mom became sick, she hasn't been tending to her garden, so it's filled with all kinds of crap now.
I don't have time for that right now.
Anyway, there's nothing you need to be worried about right now. I've lived in that house far longer than you, and all that time nothing strange was happening there, and I came out just fine, right? By having me there, you're not going to be changing anything either. So just relax and get back to preparing for what's to come.
I just finished up all the paperwork at the courthouse, so in a little bit I'll be coming home.
Thanks for that. Ever since my mom's funeral ended, we've finally been able to get some well-needed rest.
That's very true. But there's still a lot of stuff you and I need to take care of.
We have to start working on cleaning up the house now, too. In order to start our new lives together, you and I need to clean the whole place out and organize all of our things.
That's a good point. There's a ton of stuff to go through there, so we have to keep going a little bit longer. We also have to talk about the inheritance. When we have a chance, let's you and I go to the lawyer and talk with him about it.
No, you don't have to come. We'll make sure to handle all that stuff.
What? What do you mean we'll handle all of the inheritance stuff?
I'm talking about my new wife and I. We'll make sure to deal with all of the inheritance.
Huh? What are you saying right now?
Mom and Dad are both dead now, which means I no longer have any use for you anymore. I want to marry someone else now, so please divorce me. I've already decided that I'm going to have a brand new wife now, so there's nothing you can do to stop this.
George, have you been cheating on me? You were always forcing me to be home and caring for your parents like I was a tool to you. And you were using that time to go out with another woman? Just waiting for them both to die so that you could then get rid of me?
That's right. That's why I want you to hurry up and get out of my house. I just need you to get all of your things together and get out of that house for me, please. And make that happen as quick as possible.
You have to be lying right now. I can't believe this. I'm so happy.
What? You're so happy?
I am. I have been waiting for years to hear those words come out of your mouth.
What do you mean you've been waiting for years?
I've been wanting to leave that terrible house for so long now. That's why I am filled with joy now to hear you wanting me out of that place.
What? So you've been wanting me to leave you?
I have. I knew that we'd have a lot of work to do cleaning up the house after your parents passed away, and that made me wonder when the best time would be to leave. But hearing you tell me now that I can go, I am just over the moon with happiness. And the fact that I don't even have to help clean up the mess really helps me out a lot.
Why have you been wanting to leave that house and me? You've been my housewife this whole time, so there's no way you can take care of yourself on your own. Or could this mean you've had another man on your mind?
I never had any time to think about other men, right? And there was never a moment where I was able to leave the house for more than 20 minutes, so I never had any affairs. You seem to be the only unfaithful person here. Now, if you would just think of why I've been wanting this, you'd have the answer. For a long time now, you have made my life such a living hell. Therefore, I need to get out.
Are you saying me asking you to take care of my parents was a living hell? Taking care of the husband's parents is what every wife has to do.
That's not the only reason I wanted to leave, but you would never be able to understand how I felt. Now, before I leave your life forever and am free, make sure to pay up. You owe me money now for having cheated on me, and there's also the splitting of our properties in the divorce. And if you're going to tell me you won't, don't worry, because I've already got myself a lawyer who will make you pay up. You just told me a second ago that you've had another woman, right? So I have a right now to a settlement for having been cheated on.
Oh, is that right? If I give you the money you want, you won't hang around anymore and will get out of my life, right?
Of course. Once I have that money, which I'm entitled to, I'll be out of your face in a second. Actually, if you don't give me any of the money I deserve, then I won't be able to move out of the house as soon as you'd like. I will also have to start looking for a job as well to make my own income with.
I get it. I'll get both the money for the settlement and the divorce ready and have it to you in a bit. So hurry up and get lost.
Understood. Thank you so much, George. Luckily, I don't have a lot of things to begin with, so I should have all my things together here soon. And then I can be out of your hair forever. Things like my bags and everything have all been taken away from the house now, so I'll be moving out as well. Have a good one, George.
You really made quick work of getting out of that house. He also had that divorce paperwork handed in quicker than I was thinking.
Did you think that I was going to throw it away or something?
Well, just a little bit.
I've already gotten the money from you, and there's not an ounce of love left in me for you. Also, I'm not even thinking about how you feel. I have to worry about my life now. I'll be living with my parents for a little bit here, but I need to find a place to move to and a job.
And as for myself, I'm heading to the courthouse tomorrow to get married to my new woman. And from there, her and I'll be living in that house.
Please do whatever you want without telling me about it. I have nothing to do with you anymore, so please leave me out of your life. Ah, and now that you'll have a new wife, make sure you actually take good care of her this time. I'm sure things will be hard for the both of you going forward, so treat her with some kind of affection. Now, as for you and your new wife, good luck with paying off all that debt.
Debt? What debt are you talking about?
You don't even know what I'm talking about? While your parents were around for their last couple of years, the both of them ended up creating a lot of debt.
Huh? What the hell are you going on about? I have no clue about any of that.
And that's because you never gave a damn about your parents and the house. Of course you wouldn't know about this.
Are you being serious right now?
Very serious, George. If you just took a few minutes to look into your parents, you'd know what I'm talking about.
Since when have they had any debt, Carly?
It's been years now that they started to get into said debt. Just like I said, you were always using your parents' Social Security, right? And then when you should have been handing some of it to us, you never ever did. So there was no way for them to pay things off, like their medical bills and the cost of living in that house.
Why didn't you tell me anything? If you knew there was debt, then you should have told me.
I don't think that you were unaware of it that whole time. I assume you knew the debt was a problem, but just didn't care about it.
You knew that I had no clue they were getting into debt, but you chose to stay quiet and screw me over, right? Now I know why you really wanted out of my house and out of my life. I was wondering why you were acting so weird.
I already had to sacrifice years of my life to taking care of both your parents all day and night, so I did not want to have to start paying off their debts for you next.
But you can't just keep quiet about something like that and never tell me a thing. What the hell am I supposed to do now?
If you don't want to take on your parents' debt, then tell the lawyer that you don't want to inherit anything from them.
I see. That's something I can do. That means I wouldn't have to pay off any of their debt, right?
That's correct. But if you do that, then you won't be given access to any of their properties, including the house, and it will all go towards paying off the remaining debt.
If I can't have the house, then I'll be in trouble. Do you have any idea how valuable the house is to me?
Then you are going to have to think about what is more important to you. If I were you, though, I'd give up the house to avoid all of their debt. I'm sure that having a free house is great, but not when it comes with more debt than the house is actually worth.
Can you tell me how much debt they have that needs to be paid off?
At least $20,000 that needs to be paid this year.
What? That's all they have? You really are such an idiot. I'd choose the house and take that debt, no questions asked. That house might not be the most valuable, but the land it's on is worth at least $100,000. I would never be able to let that house and its land go. Not for a measly $20,000 worth of debt.
You sure? You still have time to talk with the lawyer and tell him you don't want anything from your parents. So are you really going to throw away that chance and take everything they've left behind?
Of course I am. This is land that has been passed down from generation to generation in my family we're talking about. I would never, ever give it up out of some fear that $20,000 worth of debt would end me. I'm sure you were trying to scare me the best you could right there, but it didn't work.
Why would you think I was trying to scare you there?
Stop playing dumb. I know that you're trying to get back at me for kicking you out of the house and my life. You were just trying to ruin my day by saying all of that. I know it. You really think that a man of my kind would be crushed by $20,000 worth of debt?
Is that right? Well then, if you think $20,000 isn't too bad at all for you, go ahead and take the house and everything. I don't have any desire to live back inside that house or keep any of what your parents left.
You can stop acting like a sore loser, okay? Idiots like you could just shut up and leave me alone. Well, it's not like you and I'll ever see or talk to one another again after this. This is it, right? If you ever find yourself in a tough spot, don't even bother crying to me about it.
The same goes for you as well. If anything happens with you that you need help with, don't come crying to me about it. Now, goodbye forever.
Yo, it's me, George. Did you know all about this?
What's that? Oh, long time no see. What's happened with you?
I'm talking about the problem with this house. You knew about this all along, didn't you?
It's been a whole year now since we last talked, so you're going to have to be a little bit more detailed about what you're saying. Please explain everything to me from start to end.
You've known about how all of the land that this house resides on is completely polluted, right? Because of that, this house's value and this land's value have plummeted. Not a single person wants to buy it off of me, and actually I'm not legally able to even sell it.
So the land is polluted? This is the first time I'm ever hearing about that.
Stop acting like you don't know exactly what I'm talking about. You knew all about how this land was no good, and that's why you ran away from me when you did.
Is the pollution on that land really that bad right now?
I called and asked to see if the land could be saved and have all the pollution cleaned out of it, but all the surveying teams have said it's impossible. But all of that surveying cost me a lot of money to do. So now I'm in even more debt, and the only thing I learned is that the pollution is too bad right now and spreading.
That's a really tough situation you found yourself in then. Unfortunately, I'm not an environmental engineer or anything, so I have no idea what to do there.
Stop lying to me.
So you think I should know? The only thing I can say is that before leaving, I felt there was something wrong with that house. But I never connected that to the land being completely polluted. Now I can start to see why I was feeling so off there.
What are you talking about? Explain to me right now what you do know about this pollution.
You don't remember anything I mentioned a while back? I told you that the house was making me depressed and that I didn't like being there, right? And about how your mom started to say these strange chants and whatnot, which only made things worse.
Why are you bringing up all of that bullcrap again? My mom did not curse the house, and she was not speaking gibberish like you think.
Normally, I'm sure that would be the case. But what I'm saying is that for a long time, the house has been in sort of a really sorry state that even left your mom feeling more ill than she originally was. And close to the time I moved out of there, all of the plants and such outside started to die, and soon the grass did as well. There were no more bugs around, and most of the squirrels stopped coming into the yard. And if that's not enough evidence for you, both of your parents started to get really sick the longer they stuck around that house, right? I'm not saying that was caused by the pollution in the yard, but perhaps your mom has been cursing that house the whole time and we just never noticed it in time.
You're saying that the pollution played a role in my mom and dad getting that sick?
Like I said, I'm sure that's not the case, but there's a very high chance it was the reason for their sickness. Before you and I moved in with them, your mom always loved to work out in the yard, right? She was always using the faucet out there that came from the well water, right? Actually, it was only that outdoor faucet water that still came from the well.
So you're saying she became that sick because of the water she was using and maybe even drinking?
I'm just saying there's a high chance is all. But what I want to know is why the yard is that badly polluted in the first place. I'm sure if you can find out whoever was polluting that yard there, you could sue them and get all the money you need, right?
There's no way I can sue them. The reason this land is so badly polluted is because of my own family. My family buried a lot of old pesticides and herbicides in the ground years and years ago that were said to be terrible for people's health. That's the reason this yard is so polluted now.
Damn, you have some very bad family members then. Or had, I should say.
My wife even left because she said she doesn't want to live on polluted land anymore. And after trying to get those surveyors to help me out, I wasted even more money. And that ended with not a single person or company being able to help me. If something like this was going to happen, I would have been better off not taking the house and debt.
Had you listened to what I was saying before, none of this would have happened to you. All you had to do was take what I was saying a little bit more seriously, and then you would have known that the land was polluted. But it's far too late to think about any of that now, right?
I think you and I never spent enough time talking to one another, did we? I'm sorry about that. I should have spent more time with you and listened.
What? I'm honestly surprised by what you said just then. I never thought that the day would come that you'd say you're sorry to me.
I understand that what I'm saying is very ridiculous of me now, but do you think that you could come back to me?
If you knew something like that was going to sound so ridiculous, please don't say it.
But listen, I know now that you're the only woman for me. So please, give me one last chance to be your husband and treat you right. I know that I haven't said this yet, but I still have a lot of feelings for you.
Stop that right now, George. I know you're only wanting me back now because you lost that new wife of yours, right? I'm sorry, but I have a new man in my life now and a new world ahead of me. He is very close to me, and I think I might just marry him.
What? But it hasn't even been a year yet, right? You've already found yourself a new man?
That's because I completely forgot about you right after we got that divorce. The moment you were out of my head, I found myself someone far better.
What the hell, Carly? There hasn't been enough time for something like that to happen.
I'm not going to take that from a man that got married the day after he got a divorce.
I am so sorry. I made a huge mistake.
We all know that you made a huge mistake. I was the one that not only had to take care of your parents for you, but I also had to take care of you and myself. What were you doing all that time? I thought you threw me away because I was no longer any use to you. And you said you had a new woman with you and were getting married. You really think anyone is going to want to get back together with you after doing that?
And right now I feel sorry about literally everything I did back then. I am so very sorry, Carly. So please do something to help me. You are the only person I have left now.
What are you going on about now, George? I thought we both agreed that no matter how tough our lives became, we were not going to run back crying to one another. Right? So please stop crying to me about your piss-poor life right now. And it's not like there's anything I can do for you now anyway. You don't have any more parents for me to take care of there now, so I would have no reason for going back in that house. After that, having taken on so much debt to the point he could no longer borrow any more money, George had to suck it up and keep living in that old house on that polluted land. And then, not too many years later, George came down with the same sickness his mom and dad both passed away from. He was still young, but was in need of care from someone else. But because he lived with no one else, he was forced to be admitted into a recovery house where he would be cared for by volunteers while he tried to battle said sickness. He didn't have the money to put himself into anywhere that was really that great, so his life there consisted of him getting IVs put in by students in training, which was very painful at times for him. I don't hear much else about him anymore, but I do know that he will most likely never get out of that place and will end up dying there. And the only reason I'm saying that about him is because the sickness he has, that both of his parents passed away from as well, has a 100% lethality rate and cannot be cured. So no matter how much the doctors try and comfort him into thinking he'll be all right, there's no stopping the fate he set for himself now, and it'll only be a matter of time. The house that he had to leave, which is still sitting on that polluted land, has had nothing done to it. It's not able to be sold by any of the realtors in the area, and since the land is so polluted, it's impossible for it to be used commercially. Which means it will sit on that land until it collapses, I presume. Although I did take one drive by it the other day, and there was a sign out front saying not to enter the property. I'm going to assume that if it's not standing there in a couple of years, that the city is doing something about that land, and hopefully the future won't be as corrupted by it. That house has committed a lot of crimes. George's family has committed a lot of crimes. They both ended up killing 3 people while also causing 2 divorces. And it makes a lot more sense now why George's mom was cursing the place and wanted out of it so badly. As for what happened with me, I went to a class reunion and ran into one of my old friends that I had a crush on, and things took off from there. He was divorced as well when we started to date, and so within a couple of months of dating, we got married. It's been a few years now since our wedding, and we have 2 kids that keep us company. I was pretty much in my mid-40s when I had both of them, but they both came out healthy, so my husband and I are both very, very thankful. I was concerned about what that pollution might have done to me and what it could have done to my babies, but thankfully I think they're both safe. I did do a bit of yard work while I was at that house, but not much. However, I have noticed some days where I feel fatigued and not like I should be, and after a recent checkup, I was told to be more careful about what I consume and such, to make sure my body stays the healthiest it can. I don't like to think that the pollution has anything to do with this, but there's always the possibility that it does. And if that's the case, I only hope my future isn't as disastrous as George's. My current husband is a very wealthy man as well, but was not spoiled when he was younger, so he's very much willing to help out around the house and with the kids. Ever since divorcing George, my life has been filled with joy and nothing else. I can finally feel what it's like to be a free woman again, and what it's like to be a wife who is loved and looked after. And I think the reason for why all of this was able to happen without even one drawback is because I left the house right after George told me to get out, and because I cut out all of my feelings for him right then and there. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Hey, Sandra, are you there? I was just wondering if you were done at the doctor's office yet. How did it go, by the way? Did you hear any news from her? Anything important?
Well, I was able to confirm basically what we already know, which is that I'm pregnant. The doctor said that I was already about 3 months into the pregnancy.
Oh, I see. Well, that's good to know for sure, though. I'm glad that you were able to find that out. What about the sex of the baby? Do you know if it's going to be a boy or a girl?
I asked, but the doctors said that they didn't quite know yet, although they said they should be able to confirm that for me within a month or two.
So then we still have quite a ways to go before we even find out if I'm going to be having a grandson or a granddaughter. Is that right?
Yes, but don't worry. You're on the same schedule as everyone else to find out. We just have to wait for more information.
You know, you seem pretty relaxed for someone who just found out that they were indeed pregnant. In fact, I would be pretty nervous about whether or not you're going to have a boy. Because if you have a third daughter, well, I would just be so embarrassed personally. I know you must be wanting a son too, right?
Yeah, I'm not really sure if that's on the top of my priority list for this child, really. I mean, I don't really care what my child turns out to be. I just want them to be happy and healthy.
But I know that you grew up in a household with a bunch of brothers, isn't that right? So I'm just saying that it would be weird if you didn't have a son given your family.
Lisa, you know that Josh and I have talked about this with you before, but neither of us really care about what our child ends up being. They can be a boy, a girl, intersex. It doesn't really matter to us one bit. Just as long as we can be good, supportive parents and give them a good life, that's all that matters.
I get that, but are you really saying that you won't care at all if you just have a third daughter and not a son this time? I mean, just how long do you think you're going to be able to have kids for? We have to get this show on the road, you know?
Again, I think that maybe we just have different priorities when it comes to this. Are you saying that you'd really be let down if I did end up having a third daughter?
Well, of course I would. You know how much I want to have a grandson, don't you? I mean, who else would carry on the family name? If you don't have a son, then that means that your daughters are going to have to take other family names, and that then will be the end of our lines.
I really don't think that that's how that's going to work at all. I mean, first of all, no matter what, we're all going to be family, and your family's history will just be tied into the others like it would be anyways. But also, there are plenty of women choosing not to change their name or taking hyphenated last names.
That isn't what I'm talking about at all, and you know it. Honestly, why do I even bother trying to get through to you these days? All I'm saying is, back in my day, a wife wasn't considered a real wife to her husband unless she could give him a son. Nobody wants to have a woman in their family who can't produce male offspring.
Male offspring? I think you might be watching too much Game of Thrones or something, Lisa. And even if that's how things were done while you were coming into adulthood, times have changed.
I'm just saying that you're wasting time with every child you produce that isn't a son. If this one isn't a boy, are you going to have any more children?
No, I don't think we're going to have any more children after this one. I think that 3 kids is plenty.
So then you really don't care at all what happens to the family after you have your third child? Because if I were you, I would be thinking long and hard about the legacy you're leaving behind. You still have time to change your mind. You don't have to be like this, you know.
Again, I just really don't care about those things in the same way that you do.
I really can't believe what you're saying to me. This is just ridiculous. I'll warn you right now that if you have another daughter, I am going to make my son leave you.
Lisa, come on. Please be reasonable. Besides, I'm sorry to say, but I don't think anything you could do could make Josh leave me.
You mean you really think that my son is going to want to stay with a useless wife who can't even give him a son of his own? You really are a useless woman, a useless wife, and a useless mother. Do you know that? And I won't be afraid to deal with you the way that I know how.
So then you mean you'll finally move out of our house for good if I have another daughter?
What in the world are you talking about? I wouldn't be the one moving out of the house. You would. Why should I have to move away when I'm so close to my own son?
Well, it just doesn't make any sense for me to move out either. Besides, if I did move out, then I would be taking my daughters with me.
Oh no, you don't have to worry about that. You could go ahead and leave your children with Josh. After all, they still carry his superior genes. But I just want to tell you now that if you find out that the child you're carrying is a girl, well, we just don't need any more of those around. Besides, how are you going to handle being a single mother of 3 daughters after you do get kicked out if you do take the children?
So you're really being serious? You're saying you would really try and kick me out of the house for having a girl?
Of course I'm being serious. Why would I ever joke about something like this? You better hope that child you have inside you is a boy. Because like I said, I'm not afraid to get rid of you the moment that I find out it's not a boy but a girl. Sandra, are you there? I'm just wondering what's taking you so long to get back home from work today.
I'm sorry about that, Lisa. I was on my way home when I remembered some things that I needed to buy and stopped into the grocery store.
Oh, I see. I thought that you were going to the doctor's office again today. Is that right? Have they finally told you what the baby is going to be? Please tell me that they told you were having a boy.
I still don't know the answer to that, in fact.
Wait, what? What do you mean you don't know the answer to that yet? You mean they still haven't told you?
That's right. They still haven't told me, and I'm waiting to hear back.
You know, I don't think that I believe you. I think they told you that it was a girl and you just don't know what to tell me.
No, the doctor said that it was still too early to tell definitively.
Oh, come on. You're telling me that you're not 4 months pregnant and you still don't know if you're having a boy or a girl? If they haven't been able to see the very obvious signs that it's a boy, then I'm afraid that you do have a girl. And the doctors really haven't said anything to you at all? Because if that's the case, then I think it's just another sign that you're probably having a girl and not a boy.
No, they said that it was still too early to tell and that this is a perfectly common occurrence not to know at this point in the pregnancy.
Who is this doctor? Where did you find him? Do you even know if he's legit or not? I think a good doctor would know by now.
Lisa, do I have to remind you again that Josh and I have already talked to you about this? Because I think we've made it pretty clear that we really don't care what our baby is, so please stop asking.
I don't care if you two don't care because I do care. I care about the future of this family. Don't you get that? And just who do you think you are to talk back to your mother-in-law like this, huh?
I'm not trying to talk back to you at all, but you're saying things that we've already discussed.
You just don't want to hear what I have to say since you know that I'm right. But you should know that I was never accepted by my husband's family until I had Josh. And that's why I know how to get rid of women like you who can't give their husband the sons they deserve. That's the only way that a woman can show her worth to her husband's family.
Well, I think that's a very sad way to see things personally, but I'm sorry that you had to go through that.
I'm not sad at all. It made me the good mother that I am today, and it's wisdom that I'm trying to pass down to you. You need to understand how important it is that you have a son for this family, okay? Otherwise, we are going to have a serious problem. I mean, do you want to be worthless in the eyes of this family? Is that what you want to happen? Because that is what's going to happen.
I get that back in the day, sons were prized more than daughters, but times have changed, okay? I mean, I don't try and tell you about how wrong I think the way you were raised is.
And that's because there's nothing wrong about the way that my generation was raised. Thank you very much. And that's why I know that it's always best to have sons and not daughters.
But Lisa, you're someone's daughter. I'm sorry, but I just can't accept what you're trying to tell me. I mean, Josh is just a regular businessman. What besides his name does he really even have to pass on? Why does it even matter at this point anyways?
You just really don't understand anything at all, do you? But I suppose it would be pointless to try and talk to you about all of this anyways. But just know that if the child you have inside of you does turn out to be a girl, then she's basically worthless to anyone.
Okay, well, we don't even know what the sex of the baby that I'm going to be having is, so there's no need to talk like this.
You really want to bring someone into the world whose only purpose in life is to give some other family's sons to carry on their family name? Anyways, I've known plenty of pregnant women in my time, and you should know the sex of the baby right now.
Well, the doctors are telling me that they don't, and I think they would know a little better than you.
Oh yes, I'm sure whatever quack doctor you went to go and see knows far more about having children than me. But honestly, I can't believe how fine you are with letting down your husband's family like this. But I suppose if you're going to be like this, I can wait another month to hear the news of what I already know. And in the meantime, I'll have to go out and find a new wife for my son. Sandra, I have some news that I'd like to share with you. You are done at the doctor's office for the day, aren't you? First, I want you to tell me what the doctors had to say about the sex of the baby. Surely they know what it's going to be by now, right?
Actually, the doctors still said that they weren't able to determine anything, but They think it's likely that I'm having a girl.
Aha! I knew it. I knew that you were going to be having a girl. What did I tell you, huh?
Well, I just said the doctor said they still weren't quite certain. And they said there have been times where they've gotten it wrong in the past, even when they were so sure. So I suppose we just really won't be able to know the answer until I actually just have the baby.
You really are just full of excuses, aren't you? But if that's the way that you're going to be, don't even bother coming home, okay? We don't need a woman like you in our lives anymore. I've already packed up all of your things and sent them ahead to your parents' house, so you can just go straight to their place instead. I am going to find a nice young wife for my Josh to marry, and we won't ever think of you again.
Lisa, have you really still not figured out what's going on here yet?
What are you talking about? What's going on? You don't know what you're talking about.
The truth is that I've been thinking about moving out for some time now. In fact, I already packed up what I needed and sent it ahead.
Oh, I see. Well, at least you're smart enough to save me some of the effort. But tell me, is it because you finally realized that you offer nothing of value to this family if you won't have a son? I'm just glad that I was finally able to get through to you and that you've finally seen the light.
Actually, it's not just me who's going to be leaving. Josh and the girls are going to be leaving with me.
What in the world are you talking about, you silly woman? Do you really think that I would ever let them do that?
And just how do you think that you would stop them? I mean, Josh already packed up and sent his things away as well.
Wait, what? What are you talking about? What's going on here? I want answers.
I think the answers are all pretty obvious, really. Josh and I were never ever going to get a divorce.
But, I mean, are you telling me that my son is just going to abandon me all by myself?
More or less, yes. That's exactly what I'm trying to tell you is going to happen.
That can't be right. This has to be some kind of lie. Do you think that I'm going to fall for that? I raised my son since he was born. You really think that you could just scare him away like that? Besides, my husband already passed away, so if he left me then, I would be all by myself. Are you really telling me you're all going to leave a poor old woman to fend for herself?
Lisa, you are the one who wanted to kick me out of my own home all because I wasn't going to have a son. If you don't like the way that my family is, then you don't have to live with us. It really is just that simple.
But my son would never leave me. There's no way that he'd do something like this unless you tricked him. He's too sweet.
He is sweet and he doesn't want to have to do this, but he loves me and he doesn't want to see me get hurt.
Well, I know this won't stick. I know that my son can't live without me. He'll be back. You'll all be back, you'll see. He'll never cast me aside like this.
I'm sorry to say, but Josh and I have already talked about this and he said that he's going to stay with me, even if it means never seeing you again.
I know that you must have told him something wrong to turn him against me. My son would never ever treat me like this. I was patient with you at first, but I knew right from the very start that you were going to be nothing but trouble. You really are just a little brat. Do you know this? I mean, really, you can't even do the bare minimum of what a wife should be able to. That's why I was never ever going to accept you as my daughter-in-law.
And I think you would have figured out by now that I really don't care what you think of me as. I've been plenty patient with you two, and now I am seriously at my limits with your nonsense.
See? There you go again, talking back to your mother-in-law. Just who do you think you are to do something like that, huh? We've all lived together for 10 years. Do you know that? Do you know just how many second chances I've given you? How merciful I've been to you? I won't let you take my son away from me. I'd rather you and all your crappy daughters just leave and never, ever return again. Sandra, are you there? Please, you have to help me. I can't get a hold of Josh no matter what. Can you please tell him that I've been trying to get in contact with him for a while?
Actually, Josh is right here with me, and he's doing just fine not talking to you.
Well, can you please tell me where it is that you've all moved to? I've checked in every place that I can think of.
Yeah, that isn't going to happen. We're not going to tell you where we've moved to.
All I want to do is speak to my son. That's the only reason why I want to know. I just want to talk to him face to face after all this time. Is that really so bad?
I think that you really need to give this a rest. Why can't you accept that your son needs some space from you right now? In fact, he doesn't want to talk to you at all, and this isn't going to do anything to help him change his mind. In fact, you should consider yourself lucky if he ever even decides to give you a call.
I want to talk to my son face to face so that you can't butt in and put any more fake ideas into his head.
Actually, Josh doesn't want to talk to you, and he came to that decision on his own. He just doesn't even know what he could even say to you. I have nothing to do with this at all. He told me this is what he wanted to do after I told you what I had been dealing with.
No, this can't be right. My son would never just want to abandon me like this. He'd never want to try and cut me out of his life. I mean, don't you both realize that without him in my life, I'll be all alone? I won't have anyone to take care of me at all if you do this.
Yes, I'm afraid that you're right about that. That is what's going to happen.
And you would really steal my only son? The only living family that I have left away from me? How could you be so cruel to a poor old woman like me? Even though he was so kind enough to let you live with him, and after the two of you got married, now that you've just decided that you want him all for yourself.
Let me make something clear, Lisa. I was the one who allowed you to move in with Josh and I. In fact, Josh was against you living with us from the very start. He knew that you'd be overbearing and was wanting some independence. But I told him that I wanted to show you that I could be a good daughter-in-law and pushed for you to stay with us. In fact, it became a bit of a fight early on with Josh and I. I practically ended up forcing him to call you and ask if you'd like to live with us.
But no, this can't be right. It's gotta be some kind of trick or something. I mean, my son loves me more than anything in the whole world.
I know that you think that you and your son are so close and inseparable, but I'm afraid to tell you that the only one who thinks that is you. I'm not giving you my opinion. I'm only telling you what I've learned watching you and your son interact and listening to Josh talk about you. I'm not going to pretend like you and I have even had enough of a chance to get to know each other well, but your son has told me all about you and all about him.
Please, Sandra. Josh is the only thing that I have left in my sad life. You have to talk to him. You have to convince him to change his mind about all of this. Can't you do that for me?
I'm not going to do anything of the sort. Josh is going through a lot himself right now, and I'm going to give him the time he needs to process this on his own. So please stop trying to call us or text us to ask where we live. If we see you snooping around here, we're going to call the police. Do you understand?
The police? You mean you would call the police on a poor old woman like me? How could you do that?
I've been clear with you why we're doing this. If you really can't figure it out by now, then I think that you also need to take some time to think about your actions. So here's what's going to happen. You are going to find a new place to live and take care of yourself until Josh decides that he's ready to talk to you and have you in his life again. But until then, we don't want anything to do with you ever again. This is going to happen on its own time or not at all. I tried to be clear with Lisa about what would happen if she kept pestering us, but she just didn't seem interested in listening at all. In the end, we had to block her number on everything and do our best to hide any information leaking out to her. It took a few years, but by then Josh was finally ready to talk to his mother again. At that point, Lisa had been living in a tiny apartment that she was barely able to afford through her retirement checks and wages from her new part-time job. I think the experience must have humbled Lisa quite a bit and hopefully taught her the true meaning of family and having people there who care for you. She was so apologetic about all the things that she said to me, and I actually believed what she had to tell me. While we didn't re-invite her into our lives with our arms spread wide open, Josh and I agreed to give her a second chance, and we've been making an effort to have her visit us, or the other way around, at least once a month. She must have gotten over her obsession with having sons as well, because she is nothing but incredibly kind and sweet to all three of her granddaughters. Of course, it pains me that my relationship with my mother-in-law went in the direction that it did, but I think that Lisa finally came to understand that our family is the way it is, and she could either take it or leave it. Or perhaps more accurately, we would leave her. Rachel, are you there? I didn't know that you were going out for the day. But I'm pretty sure that I just saw you driving around town not that long ago.
Are you sure that it was me and not someone else? It really could have been anyone if they were in a car, right?
Well, that's what I thought, but then I saw your license plate and I knew that it was you. Not to mention the fact that I could see it was your face behind the driver's wheel.
All right. Well, wow. I don't really know what to say except that you have really, really good eyes.
Yes, I suppose I've always been blessed with really good eyesight. But you wouldn't believe just how clumsy I am in spite of it. Anyways, I was just curious what my daughter-in-law was up to driving around. I take it means you're not working today.
I did have to go to work today, actually. But I just left a little earlier than normal is all. And I was only out to go and buy some stuff for dinner. There's actually this new bulk goods store that opened right up over the state border that I wanted to go to and check out.
And I take it that's where you were going today? Well, how was the store? Is it worth checking out? I think that I know the one that you're talking about because there was a news story about it, wasn't there? Maybe we could all go there together and then we would be able to split whatever was too big for us to eat on our own. After all, you know that my husband and I really can't eat the way we used to.
Oh yeah, of course. We should totally go and do that.
But I have to say that I'm just pretty impressed with you. I mean, you take off work early just so that you can run errands for your family. And especially to go and shop at such a huge store. I think that I might get lost if I go in there myself.
Yes, well, it was actually really fun getting to go and check out a new store that had just opened. So I don't think it was quite the trek that you're making it out to be. And by the way, you said that you saw me while I was driving around, right? I was just wondering if you also happened to be able to see the inside of my car when you saw me.
Well, I was actually in a car as well, so I wasn't really able to get a good look at anything like that. We just went right by each other and then you were gone.
Oh, okay. I see. So you're telling me that you really didn't see anything at all then? Is that really true?
Well, I saw you in the driver's seat if I really have to think about it, but I don't think I saw much else. Why do you ask?
Oh, it's just my car is a complete mess, and it would have been so embarrassing for you to see in that state or me driving in it.
Oh, come on, you know that wouldn't bother me at all. It's your car, you can have it how you like. I mean, I remember when Thomas was little, I barely had the time to clean up after him and do all the other things I needed to do. I think that the one thing that comes with having a kid is just learning how to live with the mess.
Wow, that's actually some good advice. But still, the car was really messy, and I would have preferred nobody to see it.
That's a little surprising to hear to me, though, especially considering how clean you keep the rest of your house. But it's like I just said, having a dirty car or a bit of a mess here and there isn't such a big deal.
I really don't think that you're understanding what I'm trying to say about my car. It is really, really bad. I mean, Thomas has literally had to talk to me before about how bad I've let it get.
Oh my, has my son really told you that your car is dirty and that that's a bad thing? Well, I guess I wouldn't have expected that from him.
I think it's just he really wants you to think that him and I are doing things right, and so I guess that's why he was getting so nervous about you looking into the car is all.
Well, you rest assured that I don't care one bit at all about what the inside of your car looks like, okay? And either way, I really would like to go and see that store with you one day, so please let me know when you might have some time that we could arrange for that.
No problem. I will take a look at my calendar and try to give you some dates.
Rachel, are you there? I was just curious if you had gotten into some kind of fight with Thomas.
I'm sorry, but why are you asking me about all of this all of a sudden, Linda?
I know, I really am sorry to pry, but it's just that Aaron was messaging me and saying some odd things.
And just what kind of odd things was my daughter telling you, huh?
Well, she was saying that you and her dad were fighting last night and that she got scared. She said that she was too scared to even go and look at what was happening, but that the voices sounded like shouting. And then she started saying something about feeling the walls start to shake in some kind of rhythmic pattern.
Well, I don't really know what she's talking about at all, because there was no fighting at our house at all. In fact, it's probably been years since Thomas and I ever got into a yelling match.
I see. Well, that is good to hear, and it is what I thought, really. I know how well you and my son get along.
That's exactly right. There's nothing to worry about at all. We were just talking and Aaron's imagination must have been running wild. But we weren't even arguing over anything. I think that she maybe just heard us talking about something she didn't quite understand yet.
Oh, I see. Well, yes, I was wondering if Erin had just heard something that she maybe couldn't wrap her head around. But she seemed so sure that it was you two fighting with each other.
Maybe she just saw all of this in a dream and she didn't actually see or hear anything in reality. I'm sure that's what must have happened.
Do you really think that's what happened with her?
Well, I think it's at least a possibility of what might have happened to her. But anyways, just why was she coming to you about this anyways?
I think that poor Erin was just so scared by whatever it was that she heard. She thought it might mean that you and my son were going to get a divorce. I think that she was really just panicking and didn't know what else to do. After all, she's only in the 4th grade. I don't think that's such an unreasonable thing for a girl of her age to do.
I suppose you might be right about that. And now that you say all of that, there have been a couple of kids in her class whose parents have gotten divorced recently. So maybe she's just nervous that Thomas and I are getting to that point or something.
Yes, I think that would be enough to make any little girl be scared like that. And maybe she was just too nervous to bring up something like this to you, so that's why she came to me. I don't think it's so far-fetched if you just stop to think about it for a little bit.
You're probably right about that, but either way, I'm very sorry about Erin. She should know better than to bother you with something like that.
Oh, I don't mind it one bit at all. If anything, I was glad that Erin feels comfortable enough with me to talk about this kinds of thing. After all, I know that sometimes she seems quite mature for her age, but she's still a child.
I guess sometimes I do really forget that, though. I'll be more careful with topics like divorce and all that from here on out. But as far as I remember, after Erin went to bed, Thomas and I were just watching TV and playing games in the living room.
Wow, you mean that you two even play video games together? I didn't realize you were that close as a couple.
Well, I actually don't typically play with Thomas when he does, but this time he invited to play a new game with him, and well, I guess we ended up getting pretty into it. So maybe that's what Erin thought was fighting. After all, it was a fighting game, and there might have been a bit of trash talk.
Oh, I see. You know, I think this is all starting to come together now. You're saying that you think what Erin might have heard was actually you and Thomas having a little bit of banter while playing a game together?
As embarrassing as it is to admit, yes, I think that it might be what Erin heard last night. Oh no, I really am sorry that she's worried you with that kind of talk. I'll sit down with Erin and explain to her what it was Thomas and I were doing, though.
Please do. She seemed so upset when she was talking to me, and I think she needs to hear that things are going to be okay.
Of course. And it really is good to know that my daughter can go to you with everything. You're a wonderful grandma.
I'm just glad that I've been able to have that kind of impact on Erin, that she feels it's okay doing that.
I just hope you don't feel like she's using you to dump all of your problems.
Oh no, it's really no big deal at all. Besides, I'm retired now and have plenty of time to myself. I'm more than happy to be there for Erin when she needs me to be.
Grandma, are you there? This is really, really bad. Please, I need you to answer me as soon as you see these messages. My dad got hit by a car, and I don't know what to do. I need your help right now.
Wait, what? Your dad was hit by a car. Is he okay? Are you okay?
I'm okay, but I don't know about Dad. He isn't moving, and I don't know what to do, and I'm really, really scared.
Well, where's your mom? You should go and tell her to call an ambulance right away. You have to get your father to the hospital as soon as you can. Do you understand?
But my mom told me that I shouldn't even be telling you about this.
What is that supposed to mean? I don't understand. Why shouldn't you be telling me about this?
Well, that's because Mom was the one who hit Dad with the car in the first place.
Wait, what? Are you serious? It was your mom who hit your dad with the car?
That's right. She was driving it and she hit Dad.
Well, where in the world is your mom right now then?
I don't know. She was still in the car after she hit Dad, and then she just drove away just like that.
I don't even know what to say right now. So your mom isn't even there with you?
That's right. It's just me and Dad, and he's not moving, and I don't know what to do. Please, Grandma, you have to do something.
Can you at least tell me where you are right now? Are you near your house?
Yeah, we're all still at home. We're just in the space where we always leave the cars.
I see. So then you and your dad are just in the parking lot of your building then. I'll go ahead and call an ambulance and send them over to where you and your dad are right now. You just hang on for a little bit longer, okay?
Okay, Grandma, I'll try. But tell them to hurry, okay? I'm really scared right now.
I just finished calling them and they should be on their way already. All you have to do is hang tight with your dad.
Okay, thank you so much, Grandma. I really didn't know what to do at all.
It's okay, sweetie. You did the right thing calling me about this. How's your dad doing? Are his eyes open?
No, they're closed. He's still not moving at all.
Well, I'm going to get in my car and head straight over to you as well. So please just hang on a little longer and the ambulances and I will be right there.
I just hope that Dad's okay. I don't know why Mom did this, but they were fighting just before.
Well, you can tell me all about the things you saw after we make sure that your dad is okay. Does that sound all right?
I can tell you right now, too. Dad and I were out playing at the park, and Mom said that she couldn't come because she had to work. But then, when we got back to the house, Mom was there, but she was in the car.
You mean that your mom was sitting in her car in the parking lot of your building when you and your dad got back?
That's right. And then Dad got really mad and started yelling at Mom while she was still in the car. And then Mom hit Dad and drove off.
So, your dad was the one who got mad and started to approach the car first?
Yeah, that's right. And I don't think I've ever seen Dad get so mad at Mom before.
I see. Well, do you have any idea at all why it is that your dad would have been so mad at your mom?
I have no clue. I just remember Dad saying that Mom was supposed to be at work and not at home, I guess.
I wonder if there wasn't a little more going on behind the scenes there.
I really don't know anything else, Grandma.
Well, can you see where it is that your dad is hurt?
I think that he fell on the back of his head after Mom hit him because there's blood coming out of it.
Is your dad able to talk at all? Can he speak? Is he saying anything?
Grandma, a police officer just showed up right now.
Oh, thank goodness. You go and explain to them what happened to your dad. I'll be there soon, so just sit tight and tell the police what they want to know, okay? Rachel, are you there? Where are you right now? Are you at work?
Yes, I am unfortunately stuck in the office today. Although Thomas and Aaron are lucky because they got to go to the park.
Are you sure about that? Because Erin was telling me that they left early because she wasn't feeling good.
Oh, really? And from whom did you hear that, if I may ask?
I actually heard it from Erin, if you must know. Also, she told me that when her and my son got back, that you were waiting in their parking lot of their building. And then do you know what Erin told me next? Why don't you try and take a guess?
So you're telling me that you already know the full story from Aaron then? I suppose you know about the fight between Thomas and I then too, yes?
That's right. I know the whole story now. You can't hide anything else.
Well, I really am sorry that you heard about the little spat that we got into, and I'm sorry for the trouble that my daughter caused you. But don't worry, we're going to talk about this as a family, and well, I think we just need a little space as a family. Without you around, that is.
What in the world are you talking about? Do you really think you can just shoot me off like that?
Linda, I just think that these are issues that should be solved between the three of us, and that you aren't a part of this.
And I'm really just supposed to accept this from the woman who just tried to run over my son? You know that I know about what you did to Thomas, right? Aaron was waiting with him in the parking lot until the paramedics arrived.
I don't really think it's fair to say I tried to run him over. I mean, Thomas jumped out of the way of the car, but then he tripped and fell is all. But I can assure you that my car didn't ever touch him once. I saw the whole thing.
If that was really true, then why did you feel the need to run away afterwards? If you didn't do anything bad, then there shouldn't have been any reason to do that.
Well, I was so scared of Thomas right then.
What do you mean you were scared? What is there to be scared of?
I mean, when he was shouting at me in the parking lot, I got so nervous and flustered. I just acted without thinking, and I just didn't know what he was going to do to me if he got up, and so that's why I drove off. But I really didn't mean to hurt him.
I know that you're lying to me right now, Rachel.
I'm not lying to you, I swear. I'm telling you the whole truth. You have to believe me.
No, I know that you're lying to me, and I know that you tried to run over Thomas. Not only that, I know that you really hurt him and that he needed serious medical attention afterwards.
But he just fell on the ground, right? I really didn't think he was going to be hurt that bad.
He hit his head when he fell on the ground, Rachel. That's why he had to be taken to the emergency room.
But I mean, I had no idea that he was taken there.
What did you think was going to happen when you hit someone with your car? And don't tell me that you didn't hit him, because Erin says that she has proof that you really did.
And you're just going to take the word of some little girl over me?
I will if she's telling the truth and you're trying to lie to me. Yes. In fact, it wasn't that long after Erin called me that a police officer arrived on scene to examine what had happened.
But I really didn't do anything. I didn't hit him, and if I did, then it certainly wasn't on purpose. You have to believe me.
Don't try and get out of it now. There's really nowhere you can run. And you will get what's coming to you, Rachel. Don't tell me that you still haven't turned yourself in yet. You're only getting yourself into more trouble the longer you keep trying to run away.
But, I mean, if I let myself get caught, then they're going to take me to jail. Isn't that right?
I would assume so, yes. But I would say that that's what you deserve after what you've done.
But that's not fair. I'm being set up. I really didn't do anything bad at all.
Oh, really? Because you should also know that the car you were in has a dash cam, and that it sends its footage directly to a cloud that stores what the car sees. And the footage shows very clearly you hitting my son and then driving off.
You're kidding me. How did you even access the camera? That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't matter what you think. It just matters what's shown on the footage. And it clearly shows you taking off, hitting Thomas, and then escaping all clear as day. You said that you didn't do any of that on purpose, but that's a lie, isn't it? You were trying to take my son out.
Of course not. I would never ever do anything like that. You have to know that it's not true.
But he was right there in front of your car. Surely there's no way you did this on accident. You thought that you'd be able to hit Thomas and drive off in one fell swoop.
You don't know what you're talking about. Everything that I did is all justifiable as self-defense. He was coming to attack me.
And just why was it that Thomas was so mad at you for being home anyways, huh?
I have no idea. I think that he just lost his mind and flipped out at me.
Rachel, don't tell me that you also didn't know about the driver camera in your car. Because it clearly shows that you weren't the only person in the car when you hit my son. And the footage clearly showed that you were in the car with another man. Were you cheating on Thomas with him?
No, it isn't like that. He's just a friend from work and that's it. Please don't accuse me of things that you don't have any proof of.
The lying really does just come so naturally for you, doesn't it? But the police are already trying to narrow down who that guy is, so there's no point in lying.
You mean the police are out looking for me and him right now?
That's right, they have an APB out for you and him right now, so I don't imagine you'll be on the run for much longer. But I suppose I'll just wait for the police to do their jobs and bring you before me. And when they do, we'll be ready with a lawyer. After receiving treatment in the emergency room, Thomas finally opened his eyes and returned to consciousness. It took about another month before he was fully recovered, but thankfully there was no scarring or lasting effects. When he finally did come to, the very first thing that Thomas asked about was if Erin was okay and if she had been hit by the car. After learning that she was safe, I asked Thomas about what he wanted to do about Erin. I had told him that I had a lawyer ready and he said he would try to sue. But he was more concerned about divorcing her and getting custody of Erin. As for Rachel and her little boyfriend, they were quickly found within a couple of hours of my last text and brought to jail. The police officer informed us she was there, and I took my lawyer down there to explain to her what would happen. When we did arrive, she was there with the man she'd been cheating on Thomas with. Apparently, he had been urging her to get him out of the parking lot as soon as possible, and was part of the reason for Rachel's reaction. This and Thomas's angered state in the parking lot all helped her case, though it couldn't prevent her from being absolved of all responsibility. Although she didn't serve any jail time, Rachel was ordered to pay for Thomas's hospital bill. After regaining consciousness, Thomas also divorced her and took custody of Erin. Now the two of them are living with me. Obviously, that's meant a lot of changes, but I'm just happy to be able to take care of my family. In the meantime, Thomas was completing his physical therapy and quite literally getting back on his feet while the legal processes unfolded. Although he's not planning on living in my house forever, he's seeking a new job and hoping to live close enough that I can take care of Erin when he needs to work. Erin seemed to be more than pleased by that suggestion, and that is something that I am more than happy to do. As for Rachel, I would be so much more than happy if I never ever saw the likes of her ever again. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.